everybody. Sorry, I'm just trying to get Jesse around. Not easy once he starts to grip me and hang on to me. But I'm doing the next part in the series of, caring for carpet pythons. And Jesse is one of my big guys. He is a jungle carpet python, a male jungle carpet python. And he is coming up 3 years of age. Actually, he's not 3 until January, so he's a big boy. That gives you some idea. Like, literally covering my face with his girth of his belly. And he's a gripper, my Jessie. Just is one of those snakes that likes to hang on. So this is the 4th part in the series, and I've spoken about, well, the last one was about enclosures or tub setups for your new one. When you bring them home, of course, you can use enclosures, as I said. But today I want to talk about once you've got them home and how that looks. And of course, I hope that you've had your enclosure set up and it's all nice and warm, and you've brought your baby home. And of course you're going to want to have a good look at it and spend a little bit of, sorry guys, like Jesse is a shocker for wanting to grip things, so excuse me while I battle a bit with him here today. And he gets so huffy and puffy with me as well, hanging on to him. But you get them home and hopefully your enclosure is lovely and warm for them. But you do want to hold them for a little while, and that's okay. Go right ahead and hold them for a little while and check them out and let them check you out. And but don't keep them out for hours. Get ready and be prepared to put them home and get them settled into their enclosure. And what I suggest you do is later on, a few hours later, go right ahead and offer them a little meal and see if they'll be happy to take a meal. A lot will. Not all of them need that week to settle in, though it is recommended to give them some time to settle into their new home, but it's not absolutely always the way that it is. Some are like, wow, and for me that's pretty good, because that's them knowing, hey, I'm good here, there's food, there's going to be food. And they tend to de-stress a lot quicker knowing that there's going to be food available for them than if they have to wait a week. So if your little one is happy to take a meal, that is fantastic. If not, then of course leave them. Leave them. You can leave them for a week. If you want to leave them for a few days, whatever, that's fine too. But the general rule is leave them for about a week. Let them get well and truly adjusted to their new home and settled in. Hey Jess, what do you think, Mr. Huff and Puff and strangle my arms and all that stuff, hey, that you do? Okay, they haven't fed and it's a week and they're still not feeding. And that's okay too. Leave them again for a week. So long as they're quite chubby little things and they were eating really great prior to coming into your home, there is no issue with them eating. It's just about them getting settled into your place and your home. Now, would I suggest handling them a lot? Well, yeah, get them out a couple of times in between and see how they go. And that's at the very beginning. getting them out and letting them get used to you a little bit too, but not for long times, because you really do want to know that they are going to eat and that's all good for them. That's kind of a priority to me. My cats are running around too, so the dogs are barking. So okay, a couple of weeks go by and they're still not feeding. So you're starting to wonder, you know, what is going on. So that is when you might pull back on handling them. Leave them be for a week. Don't do anything other than check their water and clean up a little bit of their mess, but leave them be. And then offer them a meal. Now you might say, how long do I wait till I worry? Yeah, that's a hard call for me. No, I have had one little baby that didn't eat, and I left her, you know, for around that month to I think about even 5 odd weeks before I really started to get concerned. And then because she was so tiny, I had to take her to the vet because I actually had to have her force fed. Being a tiny little spotted python, you cannot, I could not force feed her with anything. So she had to be force fed, and unfortunately Layla then continued to not be a good eater, and even after she took a couple of feeds, her system couldn't cope with it and she passed away. But that isn't always the case, of course. Your carpet pythons can be assist fed. I would leave them go that 4 weeks, and if they haven't started to eat and you have done everything, and everything I mean is pretty much left them alone. You can even try totally covering their enclosure so that they feel completely safe in there. Try feeding them later in the night, which is when they're more likely to be active and out looking for food rather than during the day. Also make sure that feeder is really nice and warm for them as well. And if all else fails and they're not striking at them, they're running away, they're not interested, they're actually showing fear of them. Sorry I can't lift Jesse up because he's heavy and my arms would start to drop. So you've done everything and they're fearful of them more than anything. But you know, if you've had a baby that's been well established, feeding, that shouldn't happen. The only reason I feel would be their environment, checking the heat, making sure that's up to par for them, the humidity, all of that, just making sure that their home is the way that it actually should be for them. But like I said, if they're still not eating, then you will have to assist feed. And carpets, you can assist feed. They're quite big enough to be able to do that with. But of course, wait. If they're not losing weight, and I suggest as a little one, if you've, you know, especially if this is your first, you weigh them when they arrive, and you weigh them once a week. But of course, if I've told you to leave them alone, after a few weeks and they've still not fed, get them out and weigh them. If they haven't lost weight, don't worry about it. But if they start to lose some weight, then of course it's time to assist feed, because then they get weaker and are less likely to eat as well. So you're going to have to assist feed, and there are plenty of videos on YouTube that will show you how to do that. I can't. None of mine are assist fed, but Carla from One Soft Kiss has some great videos out at the moment with her ball pythons that are not eating, and they are having to be assist fed. So you can sure go and check out her channel and you will see that. But otherwise, if your baby is eating, then they're going to be pooping and doing all the right stuff as well. And babies digest quite quickly, especially if they're only on wrap pups and so forth. So you're going to find them pooping quite a bit, so keep an eye on that in their enclosure. And that could be a couple of times a week, or it could only just be that once a week. And generally, you know, they eat, and a few days later they might urate, and then I guarantee you within a day or so they do the rest. So just keep an eye on that. You like their little bellies to be nice and empty before you go putting another meal into their belly. And if they're established, they're eating with you and all's going well, then you get them out and you start handling them. You start putting in the time with them, because for me, as important it is for you to get them settled into your home, it's just as important to start the socializing with them. So it's getting them home and getting them fed. And the breeder will tell you what they're on. So whatever the breeder is telling you that they're on, start them off on that. If it sounds sensible in terms of how often that baby is being fed, stick with that. Don't let a breeder tell you, if you want to keep your baby small, feed them less often. And breeders have been known to do that, just so you'll take one of their snakes. That is wrong. That is so wrong. So I hope that's helped a little bit. Definitely make sure that feed is nice and warm. Make sure their homes are nice and warm for them to digest. Leave them be if they're not eating. Let them get well and truly established and settled in. Offer them the first day they arrive. Change the time that you feed them. If you've tried feeding them during the day and they're not going to eat, try later at night. Yeah, that's all I can really think of. And if there's anything I forget, something that you think I really should mention, please let me know in the comments, because what I'll do is with the next video I'll start with answering those questions that I forgot to mention in this particular video. So, and you know, I'm sure other people have things that they can let me know that they've done, and things that have worked for them when it comes to feeding those problem feeders when we first get them as well. So anyway guys, that's it. You will take care of yourself and your family. And Jessie's belly is rumbling. That means Jessie needs to go to the toilet, and he is actually due for a meal in a couple of days. So his belly's probably starting to feel a little bit empty, but he needs to go to the toilet too. So take care of your snakes, family, friends, and all your animals. I do have a cat down there. But really take care of yourself. I learned that lesson. I ran myself down and I got really sick. And my snakes need me, because I'm the one that takes the most care of them. So, ciao.